What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Solid close in the 40s today. We haven't seen that in a couple of weeks. I know a lot of you were watching, pushing for that $41 close, and you saw that massive short attack happen pretty much about the last 2 minutes into the close, trying to keep us below $41. In this video, I want to talk about what the setup is actually looking like, why we are starting to see a bullish formation, and the bulls are going to step in long. We're going to take a look at that. We're also going to talk about the SPY gapping up again, continuing its monstrous close as Goldman Sachs reports amazing earnings and a great outlook in the future. So let's get right into it. Let's kick it off with AMC. Take a look at this chart. Look at it yesterday. It was beautiful all the way up pretty much into close. You see that happening at the last couple hours of the day. Fridays are normally a little bit different pattern of this. Once the options, start to see strikes that are going to be expiring out of the money, market makers will then de-hedge some of their positions. And a lot of times you see a much larger sell-off than we saw coming in. So still closing above $40, never getting below 40.50 after, the second half of the day. We zoom in a little bit, and I know a lot of you guys are probably watching this. Look at this massive amount of volume in the last couple minutes. Really just a short attack trying to keep us below $41. We did have 30,000 $40 call contracts expire in the money, which is great news for us. Let's take a look at this daily chart. You can see here, I'll zoom in a little bit. The MACD is still showing that bullish formation. As you can see, we have two candles now confirming a little bit of reversal of an uptrend. RSI is looking beautiful with a long time to go. I do want to point this out right here. 3 green candles moving forward on the daily chart. I will zoom out just a little bit to show you the last time that we saw 3 candles on the beginning was right here. And this was back in about mid-August when we took that move all the way from 31 to $52. So seeing a base forming a little bit higher this time in between that $36 and $38 range, we can get some more volume momentum moving in. We're going to break above that $52 price point moving forward. Now let's take a look at the SPY breaking above our descending, pattern right here. Yesterday, another gap up. The entire market is continuing to move back to the upside. Getting back above that 454 level is probably going to happen a lot sooner than later. One thing I want to point out right here, this is an article talking about Goldman Sachs crushes analyst estimates on strong investment banking and trading results. Same thing I talked about in my last video, Bank of America having a good outlook in the future. And I will tell you this, and the analysts and investors are totally shaking off inflation, saying that, because these big banks, because the earnings are still going to be looking positive, especially for Q3, because those supply chain issues aren't going to come into full effect, I believe, until Q4. I think a lot of companies have been able to kind of ride the waves through this. I noticed even, some places around here, some restaurants, might be out of some food items and so forth, but you haven't gotten that crazy influx of consumers all at once like you will in Q4 when everybody gets to their holiday shopping. I think next year, once we start to see some of those Q4 earnings and we start to see some of the outlooks look just a little bit dimmer, that's when you're going to start to see a pullback. But right now, investors are completely shaking off inflation. The debt ceiling issue that had the October 18th expiration has a very, very short-term brush off. So investors are pretty much in the clear moving forward. They're still bullish on the fact that, Jerome Powell has stated numerous times that they're not going to taper their asset purchasing until the labor market returns strong. And like I said, after these last minutes, at least buys another month of time. So look at for the rest of October and to November to continue to move more to the upside, which I'm kind of excited for because it's about time we get back into some of these swings. One play I did call out was NEO. NEO had a great price target from a tier 1 analyst just a few days ago. We took that at about $35.50, I think was our entry. Reached above $38 today and still hanging on that price point. NEO always has been channeling in between the $33 and $36 range for quite some time. Seeing Tesla, which is the leader of the EV industry, move higher, it still gives me a bullish position on NEO. But it's going to be great to get back into some of these swings and as well as to see AMC move higher. One thing I will also point out about AMC was IWM, and I'll take a quick look at it right now. IWM was actually having a fairly decent day up until the second half of the day where they saw a massive sell-off. The last few days have actually been really good for IWM. Massive sell-off, but AMC hung with it. So just wanted to point that out because it's very heavily weighed. So it just shows that the bulls are starting to step back into seeing the pattern that is forming. So that's it for this video, guys. Enjoy your weekend.